Hi, everybody. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of Coming Out with Liz and Eddie. I'm Eddie Connor.
And I'm Liz Lyu.
And tell them what the title of this episode is.
Leading with your heart chakra.
We're going to give you a lot of easy ways to actually lead with the heart chakra so you drop back down into unconditional love and start magnetizing to you the kind of life that you want. So if the entire show is geared toward leading your heart chakra or leading with your heart chakra,
yes.
The question is, out of curiosity, how old were you when you discovered the heart chakra?
Oh, I would think I was in my 20s because I was in that process of discovering my, spirituality, my gifts, my metaphysics, you can say, and the whole journey of trans-channeling and mediumship. But the heart chakra was rather interesting because, you learn about the different chakras of the body.
Yes.
But the heart chakra is so important. And in fact, I have to say I was kind of resistant.
Really?
To the idea of the heart chakra because it had to do with relationship, it had to do with romance. It had to do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so for me, I was going through a divorce. That affected my feeling about it and wanting to know more about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's truth. And so, but no, that's truth. I mean, that is, and that's being authentic. And so it took a while for me to really get into it because I know and we talked about Sanaya Roman does write a book about the heart. She does write a book about relationships. And I think
that's right.
And I think that was the last book I read because
Soul Love.
Yes, Soul Love. And I'm going like, I don't want to read that.
That's the only one I've never read, and I've read all of her other books about 20 or 30 times.
Exactly. But I mean, I think that because I was going through the divorce, I was going, I felt like, my ability to understand I was judging myself, I was misinformed about the heart. Does that make sense?
When did you become informed about the heart and the heart chakra and then not associate it directly with relationships?
I would say in the latter part of my 20s, early 30s.
That was a pretty quick transformation.
Yeah. It's just that, I guess that understanding and getting the information that I needed. And I was under mentorship, being a healer with Fatima Abate. And so part of that was all of that, working through all of that pretty fast. Mm-hmm. So that's why. How about you?
Well, you were engrossed in it, though.
I was.
You were immersed.
I was totally immersed into it. Absolutely.
I find that with a lot of spiritual people, we immerse ourselves. Our heart takes us there first.
Oh, it's just like when I was studying with Fatima, it was like I was on fire. I could not get enough. Wow. And it actually helped transform who I was.
I remember the first time I heard about the heart chakra, I went to someone, I was getting a reading, an intuitive reading, and she said that she was in a yoga class and they were doing whatever pose had to do with the heart chakra.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like doing what she was doing. And then she raised up and then she could see everybody's energy field in the room. And she could see the light around their heart chakra, especially. And I was just like, I just pretended I knew what she was talking about.
I know.
I didn't know what an electromagnetic field was, auras. I didn't know about chakras, spiritual centers, AKA wheels of light. I went to the metaphysical bookstore because there's always one in town.
Oh, of course.
That you have to put your hat on and sneak in so that nobody sees you going and buying Shirley MacLaine Out on a Limb videos. And I learned then about the heart chakra. I got my hands on a book called Hands of Light by Barbara Brennan.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
And then I got to see.
Love that book.
Oh, I still have it.
And so do I. I have, and then all the illustrations are amazing.
Yep. And then I fell in love with it right then. And for people just tuning in, we have many chakras. I think some people say as many as 21 or more.
Yeah.
But the primary 7 chakras are your 3 root chakras and your 3 heaven chakras. And the 3 root chakras are the 3 root chakras. The 3 earth chakras are your root chakra, and then the second, which is red.
Yeah, the root is red.
And then the sacral chakra, which is orange.
Which is your creative chakra.
And then you have the solar plexus,
yes,
which is yellow. That's about self-esteem and self-confidence, fight or flight.
Yeah.
And then you go up to the heart chakra. Now, the heart chakra is not of the earth. It's not the bottom 3 chakras. It's its own individual freestanding chakra, and it's this beautiful green. And then the throat chakra, where you're speaking your divine truth, is your first heaven chakra. And again, on this show, we talk about heaven being expanded consciousness.
Yes.
And this is the indigo blue, right?
No, this is blue.
Blue. The throat chakra, first of the heaven chakras, is blue. Then you go up to the third eye.
That's indigo.
And it's indigo, and it's another heaven chakra. It's where you see things clairvoyantly. Oh, hey, Bobby. And then you go up to the crown chakra, which is right here on top of your head. So those are your 3 heavens and your 3 earths.
And that's violet.
Yes. And the thing that impressed me the most at first with the heart chakra was it's not of the heavens, and it is not of the earths. It is the only chakra or wheel of light that you have that marries your earth and heaven together. No other chakra does that.
Yeah. In fact, when you transition, that will be the last chakra that disconnects.
Wow.
I've seen it. I mean, yeah.
I always thought it was the crown chakra. See, I just learned something. This is why I watch this show when I'm not doing it. Because I always learn something from L-A-E, Liz. But I thought it was I've had out-of-body experiences before, because one time my grandma beat me so bad I thought I was dead. But I've been in car wrecks, and I've seen the white light. And I thought the last chakra you saw was the white light tied to the crown, but it makes sense that it would be the heaven chakra.
The heart.
The heart chakra.
Because yeah.
That is fascinating. I just learned.
Yeah.
And the chakras, if you're able to see them in the electromagnetic field, they're cones that go out from the front of your body, and there are cones
that go out to the back.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can even feel it. I felt it like during the process of learning with Fatima. It's like a pulsation when you bring in the energy, because you'll feel it first, and then it'll go out through the back and then come in through the front. And it's a pulsation. Yeah.
Wow. So when you go to metaphysical and spiritual sort of seminars and get-togethers, if some dude walks up to you and says, "You want to feel my chakras?"
Don't listen to him.
Oh,
Don't
okay. Yeah. It's the same as going, "How you doing?" So what's your relationship with your heart chakra now?
Oh, my relationship with my heart chakra is ever expanding. That's the only thing I can think to say about it. It's like it's always expanding. I'm always learning something new. Always, and it's almost like I'm asking myself, how much more love can you take in? How much more can you love? How much more can you expand your ability to love? How much more can you love other people? And what arenas can you love other people? I mean, sometimes I'll just be walking in the street, or I'll be, going through my day, and I'll see a person, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm thinking, that's me. I'm loving, my ability to love that person. It's challenged. It's challenging. I have to say, it's kind of challenging every single day to keep that open. It's because so much of the world tells us to close it up because it's painful, because it's not what we prefer. Sometimes it creates a pain or a dissonance within ourselves that doesn't feel right. And so we want to just shut ourselves off.
Yep.
But you have to choose to go against that, because your natural state is love, is one of love, and to be open. And it's a challenge. It's something I work on every day. It's not like an easy thing to do for me. How about you?
Well, it goes back to the one thought at a time, one breath at a time, one emotion at a time, and one picture at a time. So I like myself and love myself better now than I ever have.
Oh yeah, me too.
Which is tied into it. I'm also learning to, with the heart chakra or leading life through the heart chakra, via Sine Roman. Yeah. I think it's funny that neither one of us, out of all the times we read every single book she had, I still haven't read Soul Love.
Well, I've read parts of it. I've never read it all the way through. I even got the tapes and everything, and I go, I have it all. I have it in my possession, and then I'm just going like, okay, but it's something that was hard for me to get through.
Well, and now I'm interested to go back and read it.
Me too.
Because I'm like you. I saw little snippets. It didn't speak to me because I guess I wasn't where I needed to be yet. Yeah. But it
happens sometimes.
Oh yeah. And I'm not going to beat myself up for it now like I used to. So where I'm at with my heart chakra now is it's real easy. Almost lied.
Are you lying?
No, I almost lied.
Oh, what?
And that is, it's easier. Yeah. I almost said it's real easy, and that's not true. No. It's easier now to drop down into love, AKA awareness. So if a Democrat and Republican screaming at each other, I don't engage. Yeah. I stay on my mountaintop of heart-centered awareness. And I learned awareness from Sanaya. Yeah. But awareness is when you can observe something and not get hooked in and lose your frequency. Yeah. Your high frequency to a low frequency behavior around you.
So you become the observer.
And that's AKA unconditional love. Yeah. So awareness and unconditional love are synonymous with the heart chakra, in my opinion. Yeah. So it's easier now to not get engaged with this person screaming at that person and just to see both sides of it from a state of unconditional awareness. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where I'm at now. And then on a personal note, I do like myself better. Yes, I wish I was thinner and cuter, but okay.
But that's another show.
It is another show. Okay. We're going to call it How to Unfugly Yourself with Liz and Eddie. That might be a whole season. So we're going to share with you 5 things to launch the show. Liz is going to share the first 3 things.
Yeah, and the first one is love, which is love. Expressions of the heart. No, I know. But when you say love, Edward, when you say love is love is love. I mean, that's it to keep in my head, Love is love is love. Expressions of the heart. Yeah. All right, let it out. Let it out. Okay.
Like bugs.
Okay, let it out.
Your face is like love. Love. Like hello.
Hello. Love is love. And then expressions of the heart. And the face of love.
The face of what?
Love.
Okay.
Love.
And also types of love. Yeah. And then the physical manifestation of the heart. Yeah. So since you inspired me, so let's go back to the first of the 5. Okay. Tell me about love and how it's in reference to leading your life with your heart chakra.
I would say love is a practical expression of the energy of love. So maybe part of it is the expressions of the heart. So it's all hooked in. So like the first 3, love, expressions of the heart, and the face of love. To me, all those 3 are individual actions, but they're also one action. Because to me, it's like every day I get up and I say, okay, when I come downstairs or my daughter brings my grandson to me, that's love. My expression of love when he looks at me, that's love.
What if his diaper's full?
Oh, that's love too. That's a gift. That's a gift to you. That's your baby's first gift to you. So it is, Edward.
Oh, I miss being single.
You're so silly. But again, that's what it is to me. It's love. In the expressions of the heart, it's the physical manifestation. When I go about my day, how can I embrace another person with the energy of love in my heart for what they're doing, or I can appreciate them. I can show kindness to a person. I can envelop someone with support and encouragement.
Whether you're
keep
speaking
going.
to them or not.
Exactly. If I'm speaking to them or not. But usually I'm speaking more about going about one's day and making an expression, going to the market, having a kind, pleasing face, helping someone with take something from the shelf that they can't because they're too short or that has happened. And then speaking kindly to somebody, even though you're in a bad mood. I mean, those things. And then the face of love, well, it's the face of you. Look in the mirror. That's you. The face of love is you, right?
You're like, look in the mirror.
Look in the mirror. That's you. The face of love is everyone. The face of love is all things around you. The face of love is even the mean person who is not speaking kindly to you. That's the face of love as well. Maybe it's a lack of love, and maybe that energy that you need to give back is not an angry or a negativity, but something in a positive thing to help that energy. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, I think whether we have a physical body or not, we imbue love.
Yeah.
And I believe when these physical bodies aren't here anymore, we will return to love.
Well, we are love all the time, right?
Yeah.
Because that's our true nature is love.
It is, even when we pinch it off.
Well, when we forget. Yeah. I guess you can pinch it off.
Yeah.
Well, we not pinch something else off.
We're back to the full diapers. So I think there are all types of love. I was reading one of Michael J. Rhodes' books, and which is about love, and he went on a rant about stop saying you love your car. Stop saying you love your house. Stop saying you love your landscaping. And I was like, why?
Why?
And I never got to the core of what the rant was about. And other than I think he was trying to say that there was a superficiality to it. But if you feel love is, like you said, it is a myriad, it's a kaleidoscope of all kinds of expressions.
Exactly.
And if you love your car, it's not like you're going to replace your car.
No.
Your car is going to replace your life partner. Mm-hmm. And love is love. There's so many different frequencies of it. The biggest thing with love, whenever I talk about types of love, is that we didn't talk about is love butts. And we talk about the contradictions and the big butt syndrome on the show. But with love, everybody asks about love when they get a reading. Yeah. Everybody. And over half the people who ask about love are innocently love butting themselves all over the place, which is your desire is there, so is your resistance. Your desire is there, so is your fear of not having it.
So you cancel it out.
You cancel it, and you're walking around with your gas and your brake on the whole time, so you're burning out your car's motor, if you will. You're burning out the brakes. So it's like getting in a Lamborghini, putting your foot all the way down on the accelerator, but pulling up the emergency brake too. That's what a love butt is. Yeah. You just go in circles. Yeah. And you're doing a lot of work to keep that car handle going in those circles, but you really want to be moving down the love freeway of life. Yeah. So love butts is a real thing. Other types of love is I am like you in that I believe we come from love, we are love, and will return to love. Yeah. And often we forget it while we're in the body because we get distracted with surviving and that sort of thing. Physical manifestations of the heart, that is honestly every single thing.
Yeah, everything.
Even though your left brain doesn't want to believe that. Because we co-create, we create our reality.
Yeah.
And it's not something outside of us creating it. So physical manifestations of the heart is love and lack of it. It is beauty or lack of it. It is prosperity or lack of it.
Or do you think it's like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's like believing or not believing, not believing.
Yeah.
Right?
Hoping, I think, is very different than faith, knowing.
Yeah. If you hope, you're going to be hoping your whole life.
Yeah.
You just need to believe it,
and
to do it.
If you're trying your whole life.
Yeah. Because the universe will surround you with the try.
Yeah. It really, it's like triangle energy is when you try every flipping angle and scheme in the book to get from where you don't want to be to where you do want to be. And then that's spinning out. It's another form of paralysis.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. I think that you bring up a very good point. Yeah. If you're just trying, if you're just hoping, it's the action of those two things. So the universe says, okay, I'm going to give you all the experiences where you're just going to be trying, but you're never going to get to the end.
You'll get just enough of a morsel of somebody else's experience that makes you feel like you didn't get yours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a very good point.
One of the things about love is if you're not in a relationship and you want a relationship, 90% of the time when you make the conscious decision that you want love, and let's say you're even flowing your energy purely for love or a love relationship, 90% of the time, what you're going to manifest through the heart first in your physical reality will be two mourning doves sitting on a branch next to each other. It could be two butterflies. It could be two young people at Starbucks, one of them with their tongue in somebody's ear while she's trying to drink her caramel macchiato upside down old school
did you
ad
see
shot.
that?
So yes, I did.
Oh my God.
You know what I did see at Starbucks one time?
No, tell me.
Now, this is a form of self-love I don't want to see any of you do. Okay. So
what is it?
There was this guy at Starbucks. He sat there every single morning. He had on his polyester tracksuit.
Okay.
He had on his 2 gold necklaces.
Okay.
And he had...
No judgment here, okay?
No, I'm not judging.
Okay.
There was so much hair coming out of his chest through because he had the tracksuit on, but no shirt.
Sure.
So you could see the chains against that beautiful nest of gray hair. And he was putting more cream cheese on a bagel than I've ever seen in my natural life.
Okay.
Talking on his phone on speakerphone.
Oh, no.
While everybody's standing in line waiting. Because he's by himself. And he was like talking and talking and talking. He goes like this. And it flipped out of his hand and into his chest hair.
Oh, what, the bagel or the phone?
The bagel.
Oh, no.
Cream cheese side down. Oh, no. And he goes, oh, what are you going to do? And he pulls it and he picks the hair out of it and keeps eating it.
Oh, no. Oh.
Now, that's a form of self-love we can all do without, y'all.
Oh, my God.
It makes you have to trim your chest hair.
Exactly.
Did you trim yours?
Yes.
Before the show.
Well, being Asian, I don't have much hair, okay?
So love, when you just make a conscious decision, you want to attract love to you.
Yes.
You will see so many people in love.
Oh,
you will see so many people. You'll hear all the love songs. Your channel surfing, you're going to see The Notebook. You're going to see Beaches. You're going to see Under the Tuscan Sun.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see every love story, every book, every movie, every TV show, every podcast. And you're going to feel, if you're not careful, you won't interpret it as the universe is bringing me love. You will interpret it as everybody else got love but me, even that hairy person at Starbucks, probably still rimming the hole of that bagel trying to get the cheese. He looked like a giraffe, child. I was like, what's happening?
So what you're saying, so So what you're saying
Bring
is
it back
that,
to center.
Yeah. Oh, so what you're saying is that, so now that you're in that state of love, and so you're tapped into that, you're tuned into that higher frequency, as you're always saying. And now everything in your experience, you've drawn to yourself to support you in that thought, in that energy, in that feeling. Yes. Excellent.
Yes. And so let's go a little deeper with that, because some people will skim the surface of the love frequency.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about it, we're not talking about the contradictions now. We're talking about the core, CORE, essence, feeling, emotion, held in the body of what that love feels like.
Yeah.
And for me, it's diamonds of light on the surface of the water when the sun is hitting it.
Oh, wonderful.
It is watching two puppies playing together. The essence of it is beauty. It is all is right with the world, where it feels like almost everything in your beingness, everything you touch turns to gold. Yeah. Everything you think, you feel purposeful.
Yes.
It feels like the deepest sense of serenity, relaxation, and peace that you've ever experienced, because that brings with it a knowing where you're pulling more of your heart chakra into your beingness with your soul in tandem to bookend you into the essence of what that love's going to feel like when you manifest them into your physical life.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's amazing. I love the imagery, but so you're remembering everything that is in relationship to that sphere of love, love.
And you're not even having to remember, you're observing, because we have two ways of observing the world around us. You're either in the present moment, mining whatever's around you for the beauty that it is and for the lesson that it brings from a place of awareness, heart awareness, so that it's unconditional and you get elevated.
But you're embodying that energy because you are it already. So that's why I'm saying remember, because you embody that energy. You're more of that. You're remembering more of it. So you're expanding your ability to receive love.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching a podcast called Coming Out with Liz and Eddie. I'm Eddie Connor.
And I'm Liz Layu.
The title of this show is Leading with Your Heart Chakra. And we talked about the first 5 things in leading with your heart chakra. You want to tell them what the first one was, Liz? Because you nailed that one earlier.
Okay. Love.
See?
Expressions of the heart. Face of love. And Eddie, what's the last 2?
Types of love. And physical manifestation of the heart. Now, we want to give you 3 easy ways to lead with your heart chakra in real time.
Okay, the first one is the heart loves love. Be love, hold love, radiate love, feel love.
And we just talked about that, meaning falling into the essence of it. And so when Liz makes a good point when she's saying, remember it, you don't even have to remember that you are love to feel the essence of what love is.
Yes.
So what are some feelings you feel? Child, when was the last time you was in love?
Oh God, it's so funny.
You can't use a baby.
I know. I was thinking about that the other day. It was a few years ago. And I was out of the country on a business trip.
Oh, girl, what's its name?
Never mind. And yeah, it was for a long time. I think I was in love, and I was looking at it the other day, observing what I did and how I got there. And I could say that there are some things I would have changed, in my actions and reactions.
Which is evolution and awareness.
Exactly.
And you love yourself enough to be able to go back and win-ventory as well as sin-ventory.
Yeah. And I realized at this moment in my life, I love myself very much in that I don't judge myself over it.
Good.
That was a good thing.
That's a big
Because
thing.
for a long time, because, a lot of times when people do go through these love relationships, let's say we're talking about love relationship.
Yeah. Bam, chicka, bam, bam. Sound like somebody was doing something with the chicken.
But so I think that you look at it and sometimes you don't want to see it. You don't want to see your participation in it, what you did. And oh my God, what an idiot, But now looking back at it, I don't judge myself. I said, well, I did the best I could with what I knew.
Yeah.
And
you were coming from a sincere place.
Exactly. And
stalking's not illegal there.
You're so funny. but now it's I feel very, very pleased with myself for having done that. How about you, Edward?
What's the question?
When was the last time you were in love?
That's a good question. I have had this love connection with somebody since the first day I saw them.
Wow.
In 1997, 98.
Wow.
Not long after, what about 98, 99? And I'll never forget it because it was an otherworldly experience where the best part of you just expands out of nowhere. And then you get the goosebumps and you just have an inner knowing that you know what you know that you know, but you don't know how you know it. And I was very intimidated by them because they're really handsome and tall and smart and all that stuff. And I had a lot of love bud activity around it. And long story short, we became really good friends. Oh, by the way, they were in a relationship. Oh. Ooh. And I wasn't going to cross over that line.
Sure.
And he wasn't going to cross over that line.
Sure.
But we had this electrical, and I mean electrical connection. And then life happened and I moved out of the area where we lived across the hall from each other. If you're watching this, hey, Max.
Oh, my God.
And his life got busy. My life got really busy. And the other day, when I think of him, I feel
Smile?
beamy.
Yeah. Yeah,
from the inside out.
I know what you mean.
And when I go back and do my win-ventories and my sin-ventories, there would be things I would do different because I'm different now than I was then. I would be a little bit more proactive.
Yeah.
Because I can be very just sort of set back and be invisible and melt into the wallpaper. And so he's been on my mind a lot, especially since December because his birthday's in December. And long story short, I was in Barnes & Noble. I picked up this book that was sort of like, open the book to any page and get your fortune read. And I closed my eyes and I was thinking of a question I was going to ask. And then he popped in my mind before I could think of the question.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, you didn't, book. And I thought of him.
Yeah.
Opened the book. True story. The page it landed on said, there's someone you love from the past and they love you.
Oh.
Don't waste any more time. Reach out to them now.
Oh, wow. Love it.
And so that was the last experience in the love bubble with relationships.
Did you?
Nope.
Well, that hasn't changed.
So I was going to take a picture of the page.
Yes.
And text it to the phone number I had back then to see if it's still the phone number. And just say, just a ghost from your past, stopping by to say hello. Cafefe?
Cafefe? Oh.
Coffee. And long story short, that's where I left it. But now I've sort of put my vulnerable, non-love butt out there.
Yeah. Hey.
Into the universe.
But that's progress. It's like you're okay. You're doing it without judgment. You're not freaking out over it.
And here's this is honestly the truth. When I do reach out and even if I don't get the response I would like, I am not going to be devastated over it like I would have been 20 years ago.
20 years ago or 30 years ago, yeah.
Love is love is love. When it's at its purest, you don't take it personally.
No, you don't.
You sit back and you know that there's a bigger thing going on.
Yeah.
Number 2 in the 3 ways to lead with your heart chakra in real time is communicate with the actual consciousness of your heart, which is what we're talking about.
Exactly.
You're aware of it, you connect with it, and you live your life in that consciousness of unconditional awareness just for the joy of it.
Yeah. And
What's number 3?
The number 3 is let your heart chakra be your new best friend forever, your BFF. That's self-explanatory.
It is, but it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it is fun. It's like getting to know yourself again over and over again when you're in love and you're going, yeah, I'm my own best friend because I want this for myself.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Who doesn't want love? It's not rhetorical.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to think of who don't want love.
No, but I think everyone wants love in their life. They do, to the extent of what kind of love or whatever. I mean, if we release judgment, hey.
Everyone is wired to connect.
You need connection.
And connection is love. Love is a connection. And remember, there's all different shades of that love, all different myriads of frequencies. There's some that are so off the chart. Yeah. And then there's some that are so faint and so subtle that when you walk out on your patio and there are 2 doves sitting beside of each other on the fence at your back door, that is the universe bringing to you more of what you already want, which is continued connection. Or
if you want to feel that energy of love, if you have dogs or cats or birds or rabbits or, that is love.
Yeah.
They're the first ones to come near you when you're not feeling well.
Yeah, I beg to differ with that little rabbit that Glenn Close got a hold of in Fatal Attraction. Oh, yeah. That was a love butt.
That was a total love butt.
My goodness. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Coming Out with Liz and Eddie. I'm Eddie Connor.
And Liz Lyuk.
And our show is Leading with Your Heart Chakra. And we want to do a quick recap before we wrap the show up. And we're going to go down to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things. Liz is going to lead us.
And the first is love.
So I can look at you and not laugh now. Because I feel like I'm connected to your soul.
Okay.
Oh.
Love, and then expressions of the heart, face of love, and sending light.
Now, sending light is an automatic.
That's automatic. When you're loving, automatically your aura expands.
Yes.
And again, we talk about the chakras.
Yes.
You're receiving love, expressing love. So the front chakras are all about internal. The back chakras are all about manifestation and expression.
Wow.
So it's all a circle.
And chakras are wheels of light. And you have a light body, and you have an invisible body, and you have a physical body. We're talking about integrating it and holding that pure love and then sending light to that, and emanating light is a byproduct of it. So the types of love, which we've covered a lot of, there's a billion, trillion, gazillion different types of love, but all of them are valid, and all of them are rooted in connecting back to the light of your soul and your heart chakra.
That's true.
There's physical manifestations of the heart that ties right into the types of love and expressions of the heart. And then speak to your heart directly. Your heart is a consciousness. It is an extension of you, but it has its own personality too. If you want to fall into it or swim around in it and play around in it. What? That's why they say fall in love, Liz.
Okay.
They don't say,
I have.
They don't say jump up in love. What were you going to say?
I'm thinking
you were doing dirty pictures.
You're saying that you're saying speak to your heart directly. I'm going, it has its own consciousness. I'm thinking of a schizophrenic. When you said that, I'm going like, okay, that's schizophrenia. But no, but I get what you mean.
And one of the ways your heart talks back to you is by beating rapidly.
Oh, don't you think? Well, see, I think, okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the same thing. So continue in your thoughts without me interrupting you.
No, you didn't interrupt me. I'm curious. Now you got me all curious. My heart is curious.
No. I just want to say, okay, so I see that you're speaking to your heart directly. But that's you. You're talking about your soul and your heart. That's you. It's nothing separate because you're all one thing. That your heart is your heart is your heart, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Schizophrenia.
What'd you call me? That's my drag name. I'll see you at Burlesque R.S. Just bring in a can of Viennese sausage and a cup of Spam, and I will dance my life away for you. I do. I got my shimmy Cocoa Pop.
What's the next one, honey?
The next one is speak. The next one is create a heart journal, giving your heart, which is not separate from yourself,
Yes.
a voice.
Oh, I love that. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
You like that?
I do like that.
You know what love is? When you can do a booger check with your friend and not be upset about it.
And do it. And actually do it.
Oh, yeah. I'm not scared to lick my thumb and wipe it on her nose. We're here to help each other. Child, that's what love is. It's everything from changing a diaper to wiping your friend's nose.
I know. No, but when you start to write, as Eddie said before, it's like you write into your heart journal, you're doing a specific action and work regarding your heart.
Yes.
So it's different than just writing a daily journal. This is about your heart. So what you're saying is about writing a heart journal. Do you expand your heart when you do that? It must increase the energy of that.
Oh, absolutely. Because I call it think it, ink it. And remember, when you're handwriting things, you integrate your left and right hemispheres of your brain, but you also integrate that expanded consciousness if you're writing about all things that feel good to you, that have an increased frequency. And I like that idea. It opens you up more to your heart. Your heart has aspects. Your heart's consciousness, which is not separate from you, has a whole universe of gifts for you that you may not be open to receive yet. And writing in your heart journal and giving it a voice opens that doorway up for you.
Yeah, it's not saying it's separate. It's just saying, okay, I like that idea of doing a heart journal. I like that idea of giving your heart a voice, because if you haven't had that before in your life, this will give you an opportunity to blow it out of the water, to attract to yourself that heart relationship that you want, would be whether a parent, a child, or if you've had a husband, a grandparent, anyone. That's amazing. I like that.
I do
like
too.
that, sister.
So in closing, what's your favorite thing that we spoke about today under the topic of leading with your heart chakra?
I think that my favorite thing today was creating the heart journal. That was my favorite thing that you talked about. I think that I always like a journal. I have always loved a journal and the energy of it, because you pour your soul into it, depending on what type it is. But when you specify out a particular thing like this, it's amazing. I like that. I like that whole thing, because then it leads into working. It actually could be a working journal, in that you can work on your relationships that are not maybe where you want it to be. Maybe you're not talking to somebody, you're not talking to a sister, a brother, a parent, a child, where you can work it out in your journal and help you come to the point where you can open your heart to begin anew.
Which is, pre-paving. It is creating an intention. It's also solidifying that intention, and you're getting to work the kinks out. You're working the bugs out of any resistance that's there. And the more you write about it in the journal, the less your resistance is and the greater your desire is. And then you will be inspired. You'll have inspired action. You will know when to move forward and continue continue growing that relationship or expanding it or releasing it, whatever it is, out of unconditional love.
Yeah.
I'm Eddie Connor.
And I'm Liz Layu.
And you've been watching Coming Out with Liz and Eddie. The title of this podcast has been Leading with Your Heart Chakra. We thank you for joining us. And always remember to keep your thoughts, your feelings, and frequencies high, fast, and pure so that you can unlock the universe within. Thank you.
Thank you.